Good morning, Bears. It is a Monday, October 26th, coming up on Saturday, which some people call Halloween, Hallows Eve, fall time, costume contest, whatever that brings, we shall see. But because of it, we're going to have a little bit of a fun week this week, a little bit of a mix and match of history skills, and science skills, a little bit of science going on this week. Sometimes we do a little hodgepodge week because in Halloween we like to do mythological creatures. So this week, before we get into this week, let's take a look at some highlight slideshows from last week. Today is 5 through 8. That means you're logging in periods 5 through 8 today, Monday, if you're making Zoom. If you can't make Zoom, remember all this video and video links are in groups. As always, we are opening our slide project in history. It is under, what is it called this week? I just had it here. Oh, that's science maybe. Interesting. I hope I didn't mess up. Let's take a look. Go into history. And there it is. Hammurabi's Code Creature Bonus. Let's take a look what that slideshow looks like. It's a history week. It's a basic. Remember basics? History, we create our own slideshows. Oh, by the way, check the videos at Highland Bear Cinema. I'm not putting the link here. You guys know how to get there. 2 videos from the weekend, virtual field trips. You'll see a river run hike that's kind of epic and fun down in this below the Hoover Dam, and then you'll see me on the Hoover Dam looking back at that in the lake. A little bit of history of the Hoover Dam. Kind of fun virtual field trip. Nothing to do there, just to watch. So that was a fun weekend there. If you're in Zoom, I'll talk more about that with people that are in Zoom, talking about their weekends. I had a great time mountain biking. Some of my friends were mad at me because the mountain bike was a little more difficult than they had wanted, but that's okay. So let's go back to our slideshows here for this week, and then we'll go look at our work. Basic slideshow on a history week. For some of you that are just getting started, you create your own slides. Science week, there's a lot of slides. We work through slides. We create slides. History week, we create all our slides and we go and do research. One of the things we will research is we'll start off our week with this article, and this is in groups. And so it's the Code of Hammurabi. The first great king of Babylon was King Hammurabi. He conquered all of Mesopotamia and established the first Babylonian empire. Hammurabi also established a set of laws that is today called the Code of Hammurabi. What do we know about the Code of Hammurabi? The Code of Hammurabi was written down on clay tablets and etched into stone. It is one of the oldest recorded codes of laws in the world. One of the best surviving examples of the code is written on the diorite stele, and this is the top of it. You've probably seen this in our research 2 weeks ago when we were talking about the 4 kingdoms of Mesopotamia. Babylonia is one of them. Now you can go ahead and read this on your own. This is just giving you a little preview. We will dive into this actual text tomorrow and Wednesday and be doing some grapes evidence and looking at our primary source of the Hammurabi Code to look for evidence of the grapes and just to see was this code fair. Notice here's some cited research here. As you see in the videos from my field trip, you guys are really doing things that are relevant. Everywhere you go, whether it's the Hoover Dam, Lake Mead, down in that river hike I did. Last week when I showed you the river, if you go to any museum, you're basically seeing what you guys create in your slides. Visual evidence, cited research, some facts, and then a well put together essay that usually can be broken down into some claims or statements, evidence, some reasoning, some examples from things you're talking about, and then can wrap up in a conclusion. You can break everything down like that. That's why we do what we do. Here's some examples of the laws. We'll look at that over the week. So go ahead and read this. I love this because you have a read aloud.
Ancient Mesopotamia, Code of Hammurabi. The first great king of Babylon.
When you have a read along like this, use it. It will help you to pronounce things. It'll help you to understand things better. We will go over this tomorrow and use some of this and the actual Hammurabi's Code text to find evidence to support our claims. Well, let's get to this week's slideshow. Remember, Mondays, the goal is get this concept. Notice I've placed them into the top slide for you. All you need to do is copy that, create a slide, and let's go back and I'll show you a quick little example for the new kids or people that are not quite up to date yet. And you come here and you paste it. And then what do? You go to the internet and you do some research and you paste in the research from the internet. That is your research. You read that research. Then you go and find a visual image. All you have to do is open a new tab and you can paste in what you already copied, save yourself some work. And there it is, Hammurabi Code of Laws. Well, there's your cited research. Click images. There's your visual research. And in case, once again, we'll just do a little thing here just for fun. In case some people do not still know how to do this, you can sometimes just click this picture. I usually like to click it once, then click the second one, bring it in. Sometimes it'll open up, and there you go. And then you can go find your cited research. So I kind of just did your first slide for you. And of course, this is just our research. Very simple, can be done by the end of the day, Tuesday or even Monday. Then we start picking our favorite slides, doing CERs, etc., based on what I tell you to do in groups. Say all you have is this lesson today, and then you have to go to Mexico for a month, or you're going on a trip, or you're whatever happens. You can predict or infer that you can get an A by just doing 5 CERs. Now this week, I haven't told you how many CERs. Why? Because we have some special events this week. We're going to do special activities each day. So each day you go to groups, you see what I tell you to do that day, and you do it. Now, fun stuff coming up here. Let's take a look. Notice the last 3. Mythical creature number 1, mythical creature number 2, mythical creature number 3. You pick the creature. For example, Bigfoot. I will explain those activities later. I'm not going to go into in detail right now, but the bottom line is we're using our science skills. Say I pick Bigfoot, I make a claim, I think Bigfoot could be real. I have to go and find evidence for that, and then I have to support that with some reasoning, and I'm making a claim Bigfoot could be real. Say you want to do chupacabra, a megalodon, dinosaurs. Now, dinosaurs really existed, but could they exist today? Some people think they could. What about werewolves? Don't do anything too freaky. It's going to freak you out, give you nightmares. We're talking about, megalodon, dinosaurs, Bigfoot. You can have some fun, but, know your limitations. This is not about, don't do anything too freaky. It's science-based creatures, mythological science-based creatures. Claim, evidence, reasoning. Could they be real today on the planet? And it's a fun one leading up because Halloween is on Saturday. Now, we're not really doing the scary type Halloween, but it's more like mythological science-based creatures. All right, so that's a fun slideshow. If you're in class, we'll talk about it more. Remember, every day we give more highlights. Today, just start doing your research. I kind of got one started for you here. And that is it. Now, let's wrap this up by looking real quickly at last week's projects. Remember, this is important. Last week's are now no longer showing up over here for you. What does that mean? You need to go to week 9, turn in science metabolism, and turn it in, or else I'm not going to grade it. So you must get that done. Now, I'm not sure what's going on there. I think I did not record. I hadn't put that in the folder yet, but I'll go do that right now. So this metabolism should be over there in your grades. You need to go find this. If you do not have a grade next to your name, it's because you haven't turned it in. Melody, I need you to start opening up and turning things in. Notice I've already graded Jordan's. I can tell Jordan turned it in because it's here. So I can go look at Jordan's by clicking that. And we're going to go ahead and look at Jordan's, and then I'll look at one from each class. So what was the metabolism? If you really just woke up, you could actually go catch this up right now, but focus on history now. We had a CER and a doctor diagnosis. I think that the patient get more good stuff for their body. She is eating more than she needs for the average teen. They eat between 5 and 8 servings of starch. She eats between 6 and 8. She's also getting a bit more of a protein than she needs. I don't think that is bad, but she does eat a bit more starch than she needs. So at the end, I think she is eating more starch than she needs. So remember, we had a diagnosis. We had a metabolism slide. Good. This could have been moved down so I can grade easier. That should have been moved down, but that's okay. He has a prediction. He has what makes people healthy from way back earlier. He has everything he needs, simulation overview. And so he gets his A. Let's take a look at somebody from, let me look real quick. Oh, I'd like to look at everybody's. If you're in Zoom, we'll look at more. Notice submissions. I have not graded these yet. Let's just jump down and do a quick example of somebody. Sophia. I can open it. This is how I grade. I check, did you do the proper work? So cool when you do your own creative things. Medical conditions, the reason Alessa is tired. Beautiful. Look at this. She's got a notebook. You can get creative. Out of all of the evidence I have Alyssa being tired is because she has a medical, since her eating and sleep habits are just right for someone her age. She has a medical condition. Alessa's biological molecules, which are necessary for every living thing on Earth to survive, they are essential sources of energy, and they are the means of storing that energy. They are also the instructions that all organisms use to be born and grow, and to ultimately pass those same instructions. Yes, are not doing. They are meant. If they're not doing what they are meant for the human body, then it's not going to be good. We also call them carbohydrates, the lipids, the proteins, and the nucleic acids. The fact is, carbohydrates is the source of all energy that we have available to us. Carbohydrates has glucose molecules. Glucose is a molecule that organisms can use to release energy. And that is made from carbon, hydrogen, and oxygen atoms. Since glucose is a molecule that organisms can use to release energy, it would mean that she doesn't have enough glucose in her body to release energy. Great prediction. Next week, we're going to dive into this and see if what Sophia says is true. Notice, very creative, has her journals, has her claims, has her evidence here. Always a great slideshow to look at with her sim overview, metabolism top slide. You can see that's an obvious A. Good job, Sophia. Let's check with somebody from the afternoon class. How about Brian? I just try to randomly pick. Sometimes I forget. Let's go here. And Brian, welcome to Brian's slideshow. I think we've looked at it this week. Has his full example of Alessa's condition, talks about eating healthy, human cells and metabolism, beautifully done, has all of his slides, has a CR on what happens when you eat fish. He even has a photo of the amino system breakdown, has his metabolism slide, has the digestive system, and actually bonus work with cellular systems, digestive system, respiratory system. That's an obvious A. Good job, Brian. Let's go back there and just give you an A right now. All right. So if you have not submitted it, you need to go submit. All right, everybody. Have a great day. It's Monday. Let's get those slideshows done. We will talk in Zoom, and it's kind of a fun week, so let's get busy.